This one's, I don't know if I'd say personal, but it's something close to that. So Quakecore, we came across, I actually don't remember how DePIN Hub and us got in contact with them. I think they were looking to basically pivot from their model into a potential DePIN model. And so we were kind of discussing, could we help them with some of that pivot? But they told me the story, and it's like, I'm not going to ruin their story because they'll probably go into it in the presentation, but it involves the massive earthquake in Turkey that took place a couple of years ago, and as an inspiration for their project. And so I used to live in Mexico City back in 2013 through 17. Then I moved and I came back on a visit, literally just to see some friends. I left my glasses in the rental car at the place. So we drove back from, or sorry, my friend left my glasses at the rental car company. Then we had to drive 4 hours to another part of Mexico. I didn't have my glasses. That was already quite dangerous. But I was like, when we get back from this trip, remind me to go to the rental car place and I'm picking up my glasses. So we get back to Mexico City. The next day, just boom, there's this massive earthquake. And so I don't know if any of you guys here are from Mexico or you remember the earthquake of 2017. I forget what it was on the Richter scale, but it was like 7 point something. And it knocked down, I think, like 15, 16 buildings in Mexico City, including like 8 in my old neighborhood. And I remember having to walk back from where I was, which was like kilometers away, like 8 kilometers away, all the way back into that neighborhood to pick up my luggage, like my bags and stuff. So it was pretty traumatic. Yeah. So after that, I was like, man, earthquakes are freaking scary. So these guys had kind of a similar situation, I think, with some of their colleagues from Turkey. And so they've taken this super interesting approach to like, what if you can give people a little more time, even if it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and actually save people's lives by allowing them to get to places of cover and secure zones. So using a DePIN model to do it. So this is, to me, one of the most interesting ideas of how to use DePIN that I've come across, and we come across a lot of projects. So super excited to welcome these guys. It's a new project. You probably haven't heard about it yet. They're just coming to market. So you're getting some alpha here. That's all I'll say. I'll let you do the final intro.
Great story, Michael. Enthralling about the glasses. I'm happy you found them and could navigate that earthquake. So this is another example of preventative technology that's being deployed globally through the magic of DePIN, making the world a better place, saving lives. So without further ado, we give you Quakecore. You got the mic, bro.
Good, excellent. So thank you very much. And maybe I give a short introduction how we actually came across you guys. So we talked to Helium, and I think we have been introduced to you guys that you would be the perfect party to really help how to set up a DePIN project and how to market it. So from that perspective, we are very pleased to have you as a partner, and we are fully committed in the next iteration to really market it. And yes, we are a new kid on the block. And if I just think about how did we come up this idea, and if you just think about it from the challenge perspective, we had a colleague, or we have a colleague, he's from Turkey, and the big earthquake in Turkey was actually 2023. And we looked into the subject, and as you may know, almost 40,000 people died in this earthquake. And if you think about it more globally, just in 2023, we had 1,212 earthquakes. The earthquake in Turkey was for sure one which was very devastating. I will not show any pictures from it, but 40,000 people overall died. We had this big earthquake then in Morocco, also last year. And what we thought about, a very simple aspect, we thought, is there not any means like a fire alarm which could be kind of developed, and we would give people their life balance back in those critical areas, and they could sleep, in fact, and would get an automatic alarm if there are specific kind of indications of a seismic wave. And this is where we started. So if you look at the overall market, the earthquake detection and warning systems are really inadequate. And I think generally you can say there is no real decentralized earthquake warning system available that provides you especially a localized warning. And let me share you a short video. I apologize already if we have some issues with audio. So we did some tests. It works perfectly if you look it up. You can also link to our Quakecore network site, but it looks like one of the audio channels does not always work. But I think the pictures, they speak by themselves. So if we now have a quick look on the video.
Hey, Ruud, there's a specific way to do it. So if you want to unshare your screen real quick, unshare your screen. Yes. We're going to make sure you have audio and then click back share. Okay. And then there will be a button to the right that says share audio. And you have to click that button.
Oh, here, share sound.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
So
appreciate it.
See. So maybe that's the ultimate part, which we did not know about. So let's have a look in the video.
So you're not sharing the screen yet, but
yes, we are here. Oh, please install the Zoom audio device. What is this?
This is normal. This is what happens when you do things live. We roll with the punches.
I can tell another story about losing my glasses.
Yeah, no, we don't want to actually. Oh, the video's up. Great, thanks.
On February 6, 2023, there was a 7.8 magnitude earthquake in southeastern Turkey and northern Syria. All earthquake early warning systems have failed. More than 44,000 people died in Turkey. A Quakecore member lost several family members in the earthquake in Turkey. A mission was launched because all early warning systems reacted too late during the earthquake. A system that operates in a decentralized manner and does not rely on central servers. In the event of an earthquake, every second counts to warn people so they can evacuate their homes in time. Our mission is to use our decentralized system to warn an entire country and its people within milliseconds. Join us in our mission to make the world a safer place. Together, we can build resilient communities and minimize the impact of earthquakes on people's lives.
Good. Let me quickly share back the screen because now we continue with our regular presentation. Just 1 second.
Yeah, we'll get the video link in chat later.
Yeah, just 1 sec. Share we are. And here we are back in PowerPoint. Good. So what is our mission and vision? So what we really want to do as a mission, and here I'm a reference back to some of the presentations. We want to provide a system that simply protects.
Some people are asking to share to make it big screen. Can you do that?
Sorry, apologize.
Thank you, brother.
So what is our mission? We really want to protect lives and enhance global resilience to earthquakes. And our vision is actually we want to use a decentralized DePIN network for efficient global earthquake warnings. And this is our key commitment. And in a nutshell, we believe with innovation and collaboration, we can actually forge a safer future. So on the one side, we look into safety solutions. So we have developed Quake. This is our flagship IoT-based earthquake warning system. So if you just think about it in very easy terms, you can buy a similar device like you get today for the household for example, smoke alarm or fire alarm. And this is the same in respect to Quake. So you can buy a system, and in the original approach, we did not really think about that we should actually combine the system. We really thought about a household gets a system, and the system then, if there is a specific vibration and motion, which can be interpreted as a seismic waves based on algorithm, we would give an alarm. So in easy terms, you can think about a device where you put on the device the Richter scale on. So you say, I want to get a warning if I have a seismic wave of the Richter scale 6. And if the Richter scale 6 is being kind of reached, you get an alarm. Why is this important? The most devastating earthquakes actually happened when in the night. So in Turkey, this was early morning. So most of the people were even sleeping. And the key subject is you need to really get every second possible. So in average, if you give a person 20 seconds to leave a house, he may be able to get out of the house in time. So there is obviously no possibility that you have an ultimate prevention system that would give you enough time, because there is no possibility that you can really have a pre-earthquake warning system that would give you actually the pre-warnings before the earthquake really comes. But what we can achieve with Quake, we have a system you install like every single other IoT device. You put it on the wall, you configure when should I get the warning. And most of the earthquakes actually, especially the very devastating parts, they come into waves. So if you get the warning at the first wave, you wake up, you still may have enough time to leave the house. And this is what we target with Quake Network Foundation. So we target with our approach to save life. And what we do at the second part, it's about technology integrating. So we have quite substantial IoT expertise. So also myself, I worked on various smart technology projects with the IoT devices, smart watches, and so forth. I'm coming out of the telco sector from the background perspective. But what is the beauty of us? We have a team of different experts, entrepreneurs, engineers. We have people that have the background in cybersecurity, DePIN, decentralized networks. And with this combined approach, we really want to set up a system. And our big kind of party we look out is actually helium, because we believe this is something you need across the globe. You need it in various regions. And if we combine this with a decentralized network, and if we combine this also with the token, we would actually be able to build the largest data pool on seismic data worldwide. And this is actually our mission. We want to set up a system. We want to direct resources to vulnerable communities affected by natural disasters. This is a team. I don't want to now go in too much detail about the team. We have people in Turkey that will deal about business development. We have people that are very experienced in the DePIN space, like Rowan, who can give us and open up links to different distributors. We have production experts like Andreas, and the heart, of course, is the technology. So Denny, Vasai, Ali, and Mahesh are here the key people that we have as part of Quake. I have already mentioned what do we have as Quake. So we will have real-time seismography on the one side. It's an early warning system. So immediately when any warning is being identified, you get a warning. And the interesting point is if we combine this overall into a mesh of decentralized IoT elements, I think we can really manage that we do not only provide the warning when the device identifies a seismic wave locally, we can even combine it. And let's just think about it. In a country like Turkey, we have very specific areas where we may identify very early seismographic waves, and we can also identify from the acceleration of our sensors in which direction these waves go. So from that side, we have the opportunity in the connection of the quake devices that we can potentially give a warning very early into an area where the seismic waves have not yet reached the level we have in other regions. And this is the core kind of heart. So we talk about the heartbeat of safety. So what we want to target is we want to target that we have IoT devices, similar like routers, in across the globe. We want to connect these devices, and connecting these devices, we will be able to not only leverage the devices for a regional alarm, but also leverage the devices to provide guidance to other regions if something of critical is coming. Maybe as a background for you, because we have been in Turkey just after the earthquakes. So a period after the earthquakes, even 9 months after the earthquakes, people were just putting cooking stuff onto the ceiling, so that if there would be a wave, there would be getting wakened up by the noise if the cooking parts would actually touch each other. So what we really want to establish here is not only a household IoT device, which gives immediately alarm when you have respectively configured it. We also want to manage that people get their life balance back, because there have been in many families, one party was really up during the entire night, because people in these regions were and are still afraid of getting asleep, because this is the kind of a challenge. If you have such an earthquake kind of experience once in your life, you know what you are talking about. This is the kind of user interface. Just think about a device which has a, let's call it Sonos-like interface. You can set up one device per household. You can set up one device per building. You can also set up multiple devices per household. And it's very simple. Actually, you configure here the respective Richter scale. You connect it with the app, and you also receive all the mobile phones which are connected to the IoT device. They will also receive alerts and status updates. And we have right now a user console in preparation. And what we also intend to do here is obviously to discuss areas of kind of cooperation with Hotspotty. We believe this would be a perfect user console to be integrated. So this is something still under development. As Michael already stated, we are a new kid on the block. So we are now actually going from the standalone device approach to the decentralized approach, and making the respective updates in respect to protocols and so forth. We had actually already quite some interesting discussions. So I think we are very far in respect to what does it mean to really roll out such a device. So number one, we want to really get it across households and commercial buildings. And there are even some regions where we already talked to respective parties that I even consider that they set up building regulations that would require some earthquake alarm device. And as I already mentioned, this would be fully comparable to connected fire detection devices. You could also actually start in a country that you set up Quake first across the public buildings, because this would actually build confidence in the Quakecore systems. And we could actually foster such a rollout to start purely with public buildings. But we believe Quake is interesting for the household. Quake is interesting even for hotels. We already discussing with hotel chains, because just think about you go to an area which is prone to earthquakes. You may really appreciate if the hotel is quake enabled. And I do remember the first time after the earthquake when I went to Turkey with my colleagues. actually, we did not really look for hotels with multiple floors. And if we were in a larger hotel, we actually decided and asked for the first floor maximum because, and we have the devices with us, obviously. And that's a kind of part which we considered. So from that perspective, this is something which you need to consider in rollout options. In specific countries, you could just go to serve the most critical areas first. You could also decide to go to regions first where are specific areas still in hazardous areas, but also very touristic. And if you look at the map, which I just have laid out here, you can see we have specific areas in Europe that are critical. So we talk about Turkey, we talk about Albania, we talk about Italy, we talk about Greece, and we talk about Iceland. So these are the most critical areas, but we believe setting up a scheme and combine it with a token and combine it with DePIN would really help us not just collect seismographic data from the region, which are the most critical ones, because we also want to kind of leverage the data and share it with respective research institutes, also from regions. I'm German, from Germany or from Switzerland and so forth, because this is something which we believe is not available today. And obviously, we will leverage an omni-channel approach. We will sell it via key digital channels, retail change, and we also consider as a specific channel governmental sales, because if there are areas where with a few Quake devices, you could cover at least from a governmental side the most critical areas, we would be more than happy to do it. And as I mentioned, one of our key goals is also to collaborate and share the seismic data. And we are also in AI models. So we even have our own AI system developed based on Llama 3. So these are typical areas where we believe we can also extend the system. What do we do in respect to DePIN? So we share a ping pattern across a decentralized physical infrastructure. And then there is an alert mechanism. And if a device detects a change in the pattern, this is broadcasted to the network. So you have immediate awareness of the potential anomaly, and you do not rely on entry centralized backend. We did and calculated how many devices and how many kind of alerts do we need. So this requires some further studies, and we will actually see when we would actually give the respective alarm to a specific region. So in the first iteration, we thought that we would maybe need just around 5 to 10 devices, but maybe if we have a broader rollout, we may decide if we, for example, want to alarm a city like Istanbul, where it's not a matter will there be an earthquake, it's rather a matter when will there be the real earthquake. But obviously, we need to have a reliable system, and these mechanisms and these algorithms, we really need to test very thoroughly before we give from kind of anomalies in specific devices an alarm to an entire city. However, our key is here to save lives. I think it's better to have one more alarm than one less, because you know, if we are able from 40,000 to just save 1,000, we have already done a real mission, because as I already mentioned, there is no real pre-warning system. But what we here manage is we can actually leverage the seismographic waves and can really move it. And our key target is really to save lives. And we believe it's a very fascinating part that we can, with the combination of the devices which are deployed by different parties, can set up such a powerful network. What do we plan to do? We did not yet launch the token. It's been fully prepared. So our targeted ICO date is September 15th, 2024. And initially, we will raise some capital for the development operation of the Quakecore network. So you see here the detailed distribution which we plan. And we have the coin offering, the initial one, limited quite heavily to prevent dilution. So it will be only 2.3%. So that's the target. Maybe for your information, what we thought about it, how could we really kind of make Quake and advertise Quake jointly in a faster manner. We are obviously looking forward to work here very closely with Hotspotty. I think the experience gathered from Helium is for us here very helpful, and we are more than happy that we can work jointly together. But what we offer you, if you are registered, if you are a kind of registered as a member for this kind of conference, that we give everybody when we do the initial coin offering 1,000 tokens, so that you have some baseline of also being in the Quakecore network. And obviously, we hope that will help to further advertise our system when we actually go to the next round. Maybe I did not mention where are we with the IoT devices. So we have now the fourth iteration, which I called pre-production kind of devices. So I can show you some pictures how they look. They look exactly how the black one I have. We will actually sell them in black and in white. And we will also have a specific kind of model which also will support 5G, because there will be some areas where we will not have the respective underlying networks, but these are also areas which are important for us. So there will be also a kind of a mobile Quake, how we call it. But the key initial offering we will do with our product will be a regular device which will be connected, and we will leverage here a broad variety of standard protocols so that we can really deploy it on a global scale. So how do we actually incentivize people? So users who purchase and deploy the devices are incentivized. I think this is important. And I will talk about the ROI in a moment. We will incentivize people for data provisioning. So if you purchase and deploy the device, we obviously will also ask you for a sign-off that you accept that we can leverage the seismic waves we measure. There will be also contributions which we will honor to the community. So that's another part which we will honor. And we have a staking model, and we also consider how to deal with token burning so that the Quakecore network token will become a success. The ROI which we target for the IoT device owners will be approximately 1 year. If you will operate the Quake token in a high-risk area, and if you are one of the first who will operate Quake in this area. I did not talk about the IoT device price. We actually, the final price is not really set up, but we think about a price of approximately 129 euros. I think this is affordable for households, and in combination with the layer token reward model, I think it's a very strong model. We have a layer 2. These are the nearby supporters. We talk about the backup Quake IoT devices and the next iteration of. We want to also, as I said, we want to also provide token rewards to government agencies, universities, and earthquake research centers. That's a layer 3, and the layer 4 will be then respective supporters. If you look at the overall addressable market, this is really significant. So we have done very detailed analysis, and this is the preliminary plan how we want to roll it out. So we have 5 countries where we have already made up kind of a very detailed analysis, which are Turkey, Morocco, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Pakistan. So we talk an addressable market of at least 25 million. If we would go to the US and China, we talk about 125 million. And if we really look into it globally, we really talk about a potential of 500 million devices. And as I said, the rollout plan may still be refined, but we are very certain that the first wave will include most of the 5 countries we have listed here. The interesting point is that we primarily looked in respect to the analysis on the households, but a specific area would be also hotel rooms, governance, companies and governmental buildings. So from that perspective, this is being considered, and we are really certain that this could be a second helium from the kind of the devices we want to deploy. And yeah, look at what are our key next steps. So as I already mentioned, we have an ICO planned. This will be in roughly 3 weeks. We will need to finalize production setup and distribution network. We will be on the one side, we need to be careful because obviously production is a key cost. But at the other side, we also need to enable that if we have the distribution network, which we have already partially set up, that we will actually do it in the right kind of equation. We have looked already for local key partners in targeted countries. I would welcome everybody who is interested in countries we did not even address to talk to us. I will share references. And as mentioned before, if we really look into facilitating regulatory pathways, we will also deal with business development on B2G. We had already a discussion really even on ministry levels. It is an interesting option, and there are governmental bodies which look into it, and we need to really go through specific certification of the devices, which we anyway will need to go through. But this is something key, which is also being to be considered as a next kind of iteration. We have already aligned with some universities and research centers, but we did it just locally. So in Germany, we have, for example, the Center of Research in Potsdam, which I think is a quite leading research center. And with the ICO and also with the distribution of the devices, we will also start to roll out the network token award program. So if I would actually sum it up in a nutshell, I believe we have here with Quake the first connected earthquake alarm IoT device. Each device continually measures and analyzes the movement and the kind of seismic waves. And we actually believe we can give people some seconds which will actually enable that they don't lose time. And our key target is really here to save life. We believe we have set it up with Quake and the combination of DePIN, the foundation for the largest worldwide connected earthquake warning system. And if we kind of combine such an approach with an associated token, I think this will further strengthen the rollout. So what I really would like to do, I would be more than pleased to invite you to participate on the Quakecore network, and you can connect with us on Quakecore in Telegram. We have set up 2 specific email addresses. Feel free to connect to us. And I'm more than happy to also share the LinkedIn accounts of me and Danny for specific questions. And we will also share for interesting party also even more kind of contact addresses. But you know, we will actually channel it because right now we are in the mode for more detailed preparation. And our key target is now to also see if there are interesting investors. We believe it's a system that really helps. And we have heard one of the investors before, he said, the most important subject is not to earn yourself money. I think the most important subject is to set up a system which helps us as human beings. And this is what we target here. But I think it's a combination of both. We believe it's from a business model perspective, also a very interesting equation. But this is not what we are actually looking for. We are really looking forward to make this the largest DePIN network worldwide. And it's a simple device, but as a simple device, it can really save lives. And just as an outlook, this was one of our, I think it was a second prototype. I did not have a good picture. I apologize for that. It's you can see here the Quake token underneath. You put it on the ceiling. Depending on the house, you may not put it on the ceiling. You may put it rather on the core foundation of the wall. One aspect is important. We need a permanent kind of connection to the electricity. We have a battery. The battery is just a fallback because it's obvious we cannot actually have a device where the setup of the device will cause any further delays. This is the reason why the device which we will roll out will be continuously connected to the regular part. It's a USB-C, just standard, but this is what we target. And we also believe it most likely will not actually be put onto the ceiling. It most likely will believe in most of the households. Just you can even put it in principle on a table, but it's not the best use. So our key suggestion is to put it on the wall. Yeah, that's it. Actually, I hope that was of interest for you, and we are more than happy to look to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Rüdiger and Denny. That was very, very interesting. I'm seeing tons of questions coming in, and seeing a lot of really positive responses too from the audience. Everyone's saying this is a great idea. You know, earthquakes are a problem where I live. I've been following this project for a while. It's good that somebody thought of this, etc. So I think you're getting a lot of support already just from our audience here today. If we can take, maybe 6-7 minutes here, we'll provide a couple of the questions over to you, and then I'll let you guys answer them. I'm just going to pick out some of the ones that I think are the most relevant or interesting here. So some people are asking about warning times. Let's see here. What is the amount of warning time that science says you need for an individual to react? And connected to that, people are saying, hey, this is great technology, but how much warning time will your users, well, I guess not users, but how much warning time will people get from your technology?
No, this is what I try to explain, actually. So you put it on the wall, and now we have two kind of scenarios. Let's actually take a simple scenario. I put it on the wall and I would not be connected. So what will actually happen, and as I already kind of tried to explain, you put in that you should get a warning at a Richter scale of 6. This is kind of our kind of recommendation, because then it really starts to get critical. There are even some areas where you have daily earthquakes in the region of 4 to 5. So 6 or 5 are the right anchor points to start with. So what is a device doing? So we kind of have a very interesting sensor, which actually takes the acceleration and the movement and does an algorithmic kind of analysis, which you can map to the different kind of levels of the Richter scale. So if I put it up on 6, you get a warning when you reach 6. Now, is this enough? No, that's a key question, because immediately when we are at that level, the device will give you a warning. Then the key question is, what will happen after you have managed it? Will actually the wave end, or will it be further accelerate? And what we give the person is the immediately alarm, and the person if you are deeply sleeping, for example, you get that alarm. It's horrible, to be honest. You will wake up immediately like a fire alarm, and you get up. You have a chance to leave the house, and if you are in bed, you are sleeping. You have these waves. You will not immediately even recognize there is this wave. So what we give people in the first iteration. Now I'm talking about a separated device, not connected, which is not our idea. But let's make it simple from that explanation. So you get that information. Now, what will happen if I reach 6? Will it go further, or will it kind of terminate and you get the alarm for as an alarm, but not from the sense that the house will crack, as an example. The interesting point is if I have connected devices. Let's say we have a wave and 8 of my devices show an anomaly, and I also see which are configured again to a 6, and I see there's something moving in a specific direction. Then I can leverage the devices in the outer space to also kind of ping the devices in the network and give the alarm earlier. Again, will we know what will happen? No, we will not know it. But if we have enough anomalies and we kind of can interpret it, we give people more time. Is this time enough? How much time do I get? If you have 2 waves, you can leave the house. The devastating earthquake in Turkey had 2 waves. So if people would have been warned in the first wave, I would estimate 1/4 of them could have been still live. So what we give people more time. We cannot do a pre-warning. This is mission impossible. But what we give here, we give people a real chance to, in earthquake critical areas, to really survive. And this is our target. So our target is not that we claim we can really give a person the 100% guarantee that with the device he will survive an earthquake. That's not possible, but we give him the time, and this is important. And this could be 20, 30 seconds, depending on the specific scenario.
All right. Thank you for that, Roger. That was a very detailed response. I also see that your colleague, Wasai Ali, is doing a great job actually answering questions as they come in async in the chat. So a lot of these are probably getting, some of the ones I was thinking of asking you are already getting answered. But this one I've seen from a few people. What is the best way to get in touch? Some people were saying it seemed like maybe there was an issue with the website, or they were trying to reach out but didn't hear a response back. What would be your kind of like de facto go-to communication channel?
Yeah, I would say either via Telegram. So we set up this Telegram channel, or we can use one of the 2 email addresses. That's fine. Or people can also find me on LinkedIn. No issue. Just ping me or Danny. And I can also ask my colleagues that they will also take care about it. But as I said, go via the channels we have set up now, and we are more than happy to respond to queries.
Amazing. Okay, and the Telegram is just the QR code right there on the slide,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. And then the website is quakecore.com.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so there's your answers, people. You can scan that QR code, or you can also visit quakecore.com. So, okay, that takes care of that. I think there was part of this was in your presentation, but maybe if you can just summarize it. Obviously, people here are also interested in rewards. How does the tokenomics work exactly? Is it incentivized more in regions that are more earthquake prone? Does it not matter? It does.
No, it matters because we have a vivid interest that we start and get the data for these areas. So this is the level 1. I would suggest we refer back to our website on that. So we are now really doing all the kind of detailed work on it. So we have this 4-layer approach, and the first one gets most of the credit, and we really differentiate between the areas. But we will also kind of incentivize people that start up with the first Quake device in Germany. There is no issue about it. The likelihood that we will get an earthquake, a major earthquake in Germany, is rather small, but there are also some areas where you can get up to 4 or 5 Richter scale.
Understood. Well, but will people also generate tokens just for setting it up and just having it online, or does it need to actually generate some sort of activity?
No, this is important. So you set it up, and what is our key interest? Our key interest it's being in operation. So because there are two parts which we are interested in. Number one, it's in operation and really does the peer kind of alerting. So we need to have them in operation, number one. And number two, what we really are interested in is to kind of collect the seismic data, because this is for us of important, and the seismic data we also want to share with universities and so forth, because the idea is on the one side to save life, but on the other side to also get seismic data on a much more detailed level, which I believe is not available today. So its innovation is for exactly these two parts. So in fact, you get incentivized for the operation, not so much for the setup. You get daily awards.
Okay, daily awards. So there's your answer, people. And then if you need more detailed information about rewards, invite you to reach out on Telegram or visit their website. And also Rudiger was kind enough to give his email and LinkedIn as well. So yes. Now, coming back to that whole discussion around, well, first of all, I want to back up a second just because this was super interesting. I mean, for various reasons. One, it's novel technology. I haven't seen any other project doing something like this. Two, I mean, we saw in your presentation that there's a huge demand in terms of volume. I mean, we're looking at, it was, I forgot what the first wave was, but then the second was 125 million for the US and China. And then the final wave globally was like 500 million. So we're talking about like 700 million devices. This is like no comparison even to helium IoT. So that's super exciting. But then thirdly, and most importantly, is like, this isn't just about being pragmatic and making money. This is about actually saving lives, like very literally. So I think this is a super interesting project because it's novel and important and impactful in various ways. So thank you so much for sharing all of this. I think everybody really enjoyed learning about this. I think it was new to most of the audience. Now, with that, I hear Nick whispering in the background. Coming back to what I was saying, rewards and figuring out rewards. Well, there is no token yet, but you were hinting that there might be an ICO somewhere around mid-September.